Welcome back to the Vertu YouTube channel. Now, the Honda Super N, out in July 2026 here in the UK. It's got nods back to the Hondas of the 1980s and the 1960s, and it's the successor to the popular Honda E. It's fun looking, it's sporty looking, but will it be popular in the UK market? Well, stick with us and we'll check out what it's got. Cannot wait for this one. Let's talk pricing. I think you're going to be pleased because this is one of the cheapest EVs in the UK today. Now, this is the advanced model, and a Honda Super N Advanced could be yours for £18,995 today as the day of filming from a Vertu dealership. Right, let's talk about the styling. I think it is absolutely stunning. Such a head turner. Looks so sporty, and dare I say, it looks like something out of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Bags of personality just by looking at it. And as you can see, the flared arches, a little bit of air intake there, and the whole sort of front grille, this offset with the Boost Violet Pearl. I know you were thinking, what colour is that? And that is what it is. And it's offset nicely with the black mirrors and that black roof with the rear spoiler. Could not look more sporty if it tried. And for small EVs, I think this sets itself apart against the competition, the BYD Dolphin Surf, Toyota Aigos of this world. There is one trim level available, and it is the Advanced. That's what it's called. We've got 15-inch alloy wheels on it. We've got that LED lights, and dare I say it, they are very Honda E. But in regards to that, it just looks very different to the Honda E, and I like that they've done that. They've got a very small car, a very popular car in the Honda E, and they've got this, and they've made it a little bit different. Down the side, I think it looks lowered, it looks very sporty, continuing that sporty front, and at the back, that big rear diffuser, as I mentioned, with that spoiler. Now, in terms of measurements, how small is it? Because videos are deceiving. It's 3.6 metres long and also 1.57 metres wide without the mirrors. And before I enter the boot, let's look at that straight back. It makes it look a little bit boxy, i.e. the Nissan Cube. It's got a little bit about that to it, but I think it looks a hell of a lot more sporty with those sort of that wide back bumper. It looks very nice. Now, I mentioned it's got a little bit of a nod to 1980s and 1960s Hondas, specifically the City Turbo 2, as we show you images of that, and also the N360 from the 60s. That looks very similar, and there's nods to this particular design. For example, the lights here and the lights at the front, very quirky looking car. This is going to turn heads all over town. Let's get into the boot and see how big it is. Now, we didn't expect the boot to be big, did we? But in keeping with the Toyota Aygo and such like, 162 litres worth of space. However, with the seats down, which is a 50-50 split, you get 967 litres of boot space, and it's very low to the ground. So this is going to be great for loading. And look at that, flat load space, and that is completely flat in there. I'll tell you a little bit more about the back seats when we get there. You'll see how that works. I really like it. But again, flat load space with the seats down, gonna be absolutely fantastic. Okay, on the inside, for a start, the thing I noticed most, this is a small EV, but I've got loads of room. Look at the headroom on this, because it's been designed, it's very spacious. Finding a driving position as well, very easy. The seats aren't electric, but they are very sporty. We've got half leather seats, and then we've got this sort of sporty effect on them, a little bit of blue there. I think they look very nice. Now, let's go on to the infotainment system. Very simple to use and super responsive. Touch screen, we've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly, which is great, and also I've got a little driver display in front of me as well. Now, when I pop the driver display on, what I would say, it's very number heavy at the bottom. There's lots and lots of numbers, everything that you can want on there, so you just have to sort of gaze at it a little bit and realize what each one is telling you. But it's got a lot more information than some of the other cars out there, and it's a little bit bigger than some of the other cars out there. Some of them are very tiny, but they have things like heads-up display, etc. This is very simple, and that is what I like about this cabin. Obviously, for the price point, you are going to expect some hard plastic, and there's lots of it knocking around. But the quirkiness of the interior means I forgive it a little bit. We've got a little bit of ambient lighting that runs through here with the blue sort of colour combo with the seats. Got a little bit of blue line in there, which I really, really like. But the ambient lighting is a real feature, and I will come on to that when I drive, because when I press a little button here, it changes. So I'll speak about that in a moment. Now, the thing I like about the Super N is it's got simple written all over it. One trim level, which means it all comes with a load of gadgets, and you do not have to spend a load of money to go up through the trim levels. So for example, as I mentioned on the outside, this comes with the LED lights, comes with a 15-inch alloy wheels, but we've got adaptive cruise control on here, we've got a heated steering wheel on here, and you've got a really quirky little setup. The gear selector, very, very simple. You haven't got any big sticks or anything like that to get involved. You've got a drive mode, appropriately placed there so you can flick through, and continue with that simple theme, I have lots of buttons as well as the infotainment system. I've got my climate control managed here by buttons, my fan, etc. I'm very, very happy about that. My heated seats as well, which come on this trim, this one only advanced trim, which I really, really like. Everything is simple and well put together. That is a major plus point. In an EV modern day car, everyone is putting it on the infotainment system, but not the Super N. Other things that we've got here, we've got 2 USB-C charging points, so passenger will be happy as well as you. Also, just a quirky little thing, the heated steering wheel is actually situated down here. It took me a little while to see that. I found that a bit odd, but at least we've got it. Other things I've mentioned is storage. Now, you don't expect storage to be in abundance on a small car, but you still want it to be fairly, I guess, acceptable. Now, we've got a cup holder here. I've got a cup holder here. I haven't got anything that side for the passenger, so I'm guessing that's passenger and this is me. I've got a little tray here that isn't wide enough to put my mobile phone. And then the door bins aren't exactly door bins. I'd say they're cup holders as well. So you could look at it as 4 cup holders. Okay, in terms of safety, it's got everything. It's got that lane keeping assist. It's got that emergency braking assist. It's got everything that you could want. It also comes with a 3-year warranty or 90,000 miles, whatever comes first. Right, back seats. Now you'll notice I'm not sitting in them yet. So I'll talk about space, but if space is your thing, watch this. You put your seat down like that, you lift it up like that, and then you've got the ability to load some very awkward things into the back of here. Look at that. I can walk all the way through, crouch down, have a little seat. I really like it when cars do this. It just gives you a little bit of, I don't know, even if you just want to show off, go, look what my seats do. Even if you don't actually load anything in here. I've got to now transition to sitting in the back, so we'll cut there. And as if by magic, I'm in this position to show you how you put them down. You pull that up, put that down there. Could not be simpler. Now, in terms of space back here, I've got a bit of rear privacy glass, which is nice. I've got plenty of room, and usually with these type of cars, because all the electric stuff is under the floor, it's quite risen and you've got no space. But my feet just go under the seat in front. That's my driving position. So for a small car, I'm pretty happy, which is good for longer journeys. Also, headroom, not bad at all. Very, very good in the front. A little bit less in the back, but I'm 6 foot and my head is not touching. What I would say here in terms of storage, I've only got a little cup holder on either side, and ISOFIX points. If this is going to be a second little runaround or a family car, we do have ISOFIX points that are very accessible here. There's no zips or clips. Also, it's a 50-50 split, as we mentioned in the boot, which means there are only 2 passengers back here, no 3 across the back. But you wouldn't expect that, as in keeping with small EVs nowadays. Okay, driving the little Super N in and around town. Let's see what it's like. I'm very excited to drive this because just feels like I'm in a very rare car. The interest in this car online and in reality of speaking to the dealership is really high. Everyone absolutely intrigued as to what this is going to be like. So super, super excited. First things first, it's small. I know we've talked about the dimensions on the outside and all that sort of stuff, but when you get in it, don't think that, similar to maybe the Toyota Aygo, where that's got a little bit more road presence over the years. This is it's a small vehicle, but very agile, and it makes me feel I'm in something that is absolutely worthy of that name, city car. Or town car, in and around town driving. Is absolutely fantastic. It's actually quite a lot of fun, and I'm going to tell you why it's so much fun. Fully electric means instantaneous torque. I've said this many a time when we've done the electric SUVs, etc. But in a cool little car like this, it's even better. You put your foot down and it just goes, and you almost forget those stats. I was just chatting to the chap at the dealership, and you've almost got to forget the stats, because the stats will suggest that in normal mode this goes to 60 miles per hour in around about 14.5 seconds, which is not exactly groundbreaking quick, especially when people are going to maybe consider this as a first car or that second little run around. They want it to do it all. They want to have a little bit of poke to it. But the fact that this has got that electric instantaneous torque and off we go, you almost got to let the stats sort of be over there or in the back of your head, because this is fantastic. It goes, it's instant, you're off down the road, and it doesn't feel slow whatsoever because it does everything quick. It's so nimble. Turning circle of around about 10.6 metres, which means it's ideal for in and around town driving and navigating a little town as we're in today. Driveways, tight little roads, all that sort of stuff. School runs when it's really busy, you're weaving in and out of traffic. It's so responsive, and that's what I really like about this particular car. It's got to do the job as a city car, as I mentioned. The good news is, with a 50 kilowatts DC rapid charger, you're looking at around about 30 minutes to charge this car. And I think that's not too bad, considering we've had cars that's, you're looking at sort of 35, 38 minutes for a charge. So anything around the 30-minute charge gets a thumbs up from me. Another stat that is not exactly going to blow you away is 63 brake horsepower. So you're thinking that's not exactly very powerful at all. However, it's going to be music to people's ears when possibly buying this or inquiring on this for their son or daughter, which I'm going to be doing in a couple of years. You know, my daughter's at 15, she's looking to drive in the next couple of years. That brake horsepower and that level of 0 to 60 is absolutely fine with me as a parent, so do consider that. But there is a little button. Now, this little button is called the boost button, and it's right here in purple on my steering wheel. Now, when I push that, it actually changes things completely. Not only does it become a little bit more sporty, it actually gives you 94 brake horsepower, and it makes you go to 60 miles per hour in a more adequate 10 seconds. So when I was first doing my research on this car, I thought it was very similar to the BYD Dolphin Surf, where the boost actually meant a different trim and a different car altogether. But no, this is actually almost like a little bit of a map on the engine, and you're able to go quicker, and it actually gives you more power. This boost button is actually what you would say sets it apart from some of its counterparts. Not only when you push it does it give you that power, everything turns into purple. We've got purple on the outside, and when you're in normal mode, the ambient lighting on the inside is blue to go with the touch-ins on the seats, etc. But when you push that purple button, the ambient lighting goes purple, which I think again is a very nice touch. Now, the battery on this is a 29.6 kilowatt hour battery, and it's going to give you a combined range of around about 128 miles. However, in that city cycle or that city mode, you are looking at more around the 190 mile mark. But obviously, we've got to talk real world, and when we've been driving it, it's going to be somewhere in between, I should imagine, even on that city mode. Now, there's a lot of people out there that will be saying the problem with electric cars is that I don't get that sound or grunt from the engine. Well, Honda have thought about this in this little car, and they've given us it. They've given us a little bit of noise. Through the stereo system, we get a little bit of fakery, a little bit of a synthesized engine grunt when you flip it into boost mode, and I think it's really quite cool. There are other cars that do this, and I don't actually get bored of it. When I put my foot down, which I'll do so in a moment when we leave this roundabout, I will just put my foot down there, and you'll hear a little bit of engine noise. That actually is a nod to a couple of the old Hondas, so the City Turbo 2 or the DC2 Integra Type R. That's what it's actually modelled on, this little bit of engine grunt, which I really like. The Honda Super N is done, and super is the word because this really is a super little EV. It is very, very fun. It's actually a little bit quicker than the stats suggest, and it looks so sporty. So who buys this? I said first time buyers, absolutely. That second little run around, that isn't the norm. This is perfect. And for in and around town driving, again, ideal. Do not take my word for it. Get in touch with a Vertu dealership, test drive this, you will not regret it. And we will see you very soon for another car.